iconic images of British television.
All efforts to capture the kitten have so far failed.
I, however, always remember Michael Aspel being clubbed to death by the kitten's paw. That, for me, was the greatest moment in that episode.
Despite strong protest to the police and the RSPCA, Twinkle is still on the loose. Michael Aspel, BBC, London.
I don't think at any point in the Goodies were they trying to outreach themselves. They weren't trying to sort of convince you that there really is a kitten. It wasn't, you know, James Cameron or something, you know what I mean, trying to make you believe this is all real. It's ludicrous. It's meant to be utterly ludicrous.
Every individual stunt is different, has to be worked out in a very disciplined and thorough way. We didn't kill anybody, at least not to my knowledge.
Stand by, everyone, here we go again.
The mastermind behind the Goodies film sequences was producer, director and editor extraordinaire Jim Franklin.
To the train! I think we took every precaution we could to protect the Goodies from some of the things that they inevitably had to do. I mean, for example, when that set fell across them on the Goodies in the movies, that was something that was very carefully orchestrated. The set was lowered down across them, marks were made on the floor, and it still just missed their heads by a very close margin.
The only time we got out of doing things like falling literally 100 feet down a cliff was by throwing a dummy down the cliff, and then by the magic of television we would appear at the bottom.
Bill and Graeme always claimed that they wrote things so that I'd get hurt. What really happened was that I was the only fit one that could do these rather dangerous sports, and so if you look, you'll see that I'm the one that dresses up as women and leaps into water.
It's interesting, the place of other people in the Goodies, because they fall into these two categories. First of all, the guest villains.
Then, on the other hand, if you like, we could stick around...
Shut up, punk!
Don't call me a punk! Squirt! Fair enough.
It began to strike us that we would have a guest star who was usually extremely distinguished comedy actor or actress.
I don't suppose you'd like to lick it off.
No, thank you. Just had my breakfast.
And we stopped that after a couple of series because they were better than us.
Mrs. Carthorse. 'Tis Mrs. Carthorse, isn't it?
Yes.
What does your husband do?
He keeps his distance.
We said, wait a minute, we're standing here like three dodos whilst this other person is getting all the comedy lines. So this had to stop, you know. And we fortunately got through some of the great comedy people like Beryl Reid and Stanley Baxter and so on and so forth. There were some fantastic guests.
Good morning. It's a bra brech moonlicht nicht the nicht.
Okay. Good man.
When I first read the script, I inevitably winced somewhat at all that hootsman, who the new, who at you, and all those noises that Scots have never made, especially hootsman. I mean, I've never had any Scots say that in my life.
Hoots the new, hoot my wee tatty bogo.
But I thought, well, let's go along with it, because it is a kind of Sassenach vision of the Scots.
You can the new for old lang syne, and no messing.
I was asked to play a kind of stereotypical Scot.
You must be English tourist, eh?
Yes.
And you'll be after the monster, eh?
Yeah.
Well, you've come to the right place, and...
I just thought I'd do a sort of a John Laurie voice. You remember him? He's always saying, you're doomed, you're all doomed. So it was a bit like that, with great, thick, bushy eyebrows and things. But the boys were very, very nice, made me feel at home.
And there I stood, face to face, with the legendary monster of Loch Ness. Of course, I could have been mistaken.
The dialogue can be quite pantomiming, but I don't think they will, be too cross with me for saying that although they were fantastic performers, they weren't the greatest actors, that had ever been put on screen.
Banquo's goes, take one.
But I kind of love them for that, because they're kind of rough and ready, which is very endearing.
Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous...
The cheeky young minx.
We weren't that bad, were we?
No,
I don't think so.
We were steeped in theatrical tradition.
Absolutely. I'd go so far as to say that, in some cases, we had a certain star quality.
Yes.
For example...
I'm sorry, madam, but we are having a private... Hello, Gray. What's all that in aid of?
What? Oh, this is my new screen image. This is how my public sees me.
If they see you like that, they'll have you arrested. You like it, don't you? That's what it is. You're peculiar. You like it.
It's not what I like, it's what they like. To them out there, I'm no longer Tim Brooke Taylor. I am Lady Macbeth.
You are peculiar. It's ridiculous. Nobody's seen the film yet, and here you are camping about just because you're in a movie. Dear, dear, dear.
Well,
the bright lights have really gone to your head, haven't they? Yes. Only my new suit.
Your new suit? What's that under your arm, then?
What?
Those two poodles.
Where's Billykins?
Where's me film, eh? Where is it? Where's me film? I want to see me film!
Oh, dearie me, the poor man's Richard Harris has arrived.
I think Emma Kennedy must have been right.
Oh, no, come. It was an affectionate send-up of the film. Actually, that was one of the most complicated programmes I think we ever did. I mean, the plot, for a start, was we had taken over the British film industry, we were all in the same studio, and we all wanted to make a different kind of film. Yeah. At the same time, all got mixed up with hilarious consequences.
You can be the judge of this.
I don't know about you guys, when I see that sequence, I mean, I'm racking my brains to think,
how did we actually do that?
You had to make models at the end of all going through the screens to
Yeah.
try and keep track of who was doing what and who was being played by a double. And it was, yeah, it was about the